I don't know what was just happening, y'all. But with that being said, I'm back like I never left. So come back, rock with me. Come back, rock with me. But as I was saying, reform and standardize the payment calculation for student loans and the mortgage underwriting for FHA and VA. So basically what we found is that nearly 90% of black students who enter four-year college have student loan debt, and this coupled with the deferment policy creates an insurmountable barrier to home ownership for many blacks who would otherwise qualify. So what the Sheba report has found is that the main reasons that specifically black millennials get denied loans is because of debt to income ratio and credit. That debt to income ratio, studies show that black students have taken on more student loan debt than other demographics. And that, coupled with the interest rates of today, is really keeping a lot of people from becoming homeowners. So NAREB is advocating to reform the way that student loan payments are calculated when it comes to the mortgage process. NAREB is also advocating to eliminate the loan level price adjustments and risk-based pricing. So if you don't understand what the loan level price adjustment is, it is lenders. What they do is they'll look at a profile, and based off of a person's credit score, they'll give them more fees. The lower the credit score is, the more fees they'll give this person for the loan. And so what it does is the people that are hurting the most tend to get penalized the most. And it's kind of backwards. And they say it's based off of the person's risk. So, NAREB is advocating to remove the loan level price adjustments based off of a person's credit. The other policy that is not on here is what I would call appraisal bias. NAREB is advocating to create policies that mitigate appraisal bias, because we all know that it's hard. You can't get a mortgage without an appraisal, but we have an issue where bias can creep into appraisal because over 98% of the appraisers in the United States of America are white men. It's like the final frontier of the real estate industry that really has not been integrated. And so yes, we need more realtors to go in and be appraisers. But while we get through that process, there needs to be policy in place that protects the billions of dollars that are lost every year because of appraisal bias. If you don't know appraisal bias, just Google it, and you're going to see stories of families that have lost tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars because of a low appraisal, because the appraiser knew that the person was black. So it's happening in real life, y'all. It's happening in real life. So these are the policies. If you want more information about this, go to NAREB.com, look it up, check out the Sheba report, look at the issues, and then look at the proposed solutions in the Sheba report. State of Housing in Black America, all on NAREB.com. And so let's talk beyond the political advocacy. We can advocate with our lenders. Sometimes it's not necessarily about the law, because the laws have been created, but if nobody is exercising these laws, then what's the law really worth? So for instance, we're talking about like the special purpose credit program. This is something that has been in the books for years, but this is the first time in 2022 that we've heard of banks creating products specifically for black people or for people living in black neighborhoods. Okay, so the laws are out there, right? But we have to advocate with our decision makers that are our partners. We have partners. As realtors, we have lending partners. And our lending partners, they listen to us because we send them business. We're in the streets, we're in the community, we're educating people about their products. And so what I found is that my favorite partners, the partners that I do the most business with, they listen. They ask me, what type of products do I think will help more people into home ownership? And so it's important that we advocate with our lenders as well. So if you go to fortune.com, there's an article that came out today I thought was very interesting, and it talked about some of the uphill battles that first-time home buyers are facing in this market, right? And so there has been some reform, and when I say reform, I'm advocating for policies. In last year, October 2022, FHA said that they would allow the inclusion of rent payments to help boost people's credits. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae have already been using people's rent allow people to use their rent payments for their credit. But, you know, if we as realtors don't go to our lenders and ask the lenders to accept that, if we're not talking to our lenders about accepting a potential client's rent payments to bolster their credit worthiness, we're doing our clients a disservice, because the GSEs, FHA, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, they have opened the door to use on-time rent payments taken from bank statements, paper trail coming from the bank statement showing that you've paid rent on time for 12 months, 24 months. That can be used if you go with Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, or FHA. Okay, that's a big deal, y'all. If you're watching right now, that's a big deal. Okay, so with that being said, go talk to your lenders about it, because this may open the door. According to this article here, it says 17% of new home buyers were turned away because their credit wasn't where it needed to be. If you look at the Sheba report, you're going to see it's more for black people. But something like including rent payments, that can definitely help more people into home ownership. Something else that this article discusses is down payment assistance. People, I mean, there's programs everywhere. There's national programs, there's state programs, there's local programs for the city, county. Each bank should have its own program. When I say program, for the banks, we're typically talking about CRA programs, Community Reinvestment Act programs. The Community Reinvestment Act is a law that was put in place in the 70s. The year escapes me, but NAREB was an advocate. And that law is a federal law that says that banks have to create products for everybody that lives in the neighborhoods that they serve. And so these products are typically for low to moderate income census tracts, or people whose income are in the low to moderate range. And here in Northwest Ohio, I have a couple of banks that offer zero down loans for people that qualify based off their income. I have major banks, national, regional banks, who offer special grants for people who qualify based off their low to moderate income, or if they're purchasing in a low to moderate income census tract. As realtists, we should be knowledgeable. You should be knowledgeable on the CRA products in your community with your partners. Ask your partners, what CRA products do you provide? And if your lender is any good, they should be able to break it down. A lot of banks that I found actually have Community Reinvestment Act loan officers who strictly deal with CRA. Now, they may do other loans like regular FHA, blase, but I found that most banks specifically have a lender that deals with CRA. And if you're a realtist, I'm sure that lender that does CRA is probably already a member in your organization. And if they're not, as leaders in our organization, we need to go build that relationship and educate them about NAREB to get them to become members and add value to the organization. So understand down payments assistance in your area. That's really big. And then this also says something about saving money. Saving money is hard when you have inflation and interest rates are up and affordability. But I'm a firm believer that no matter what the interest rate is, it's still a good time to buy if you're renting, because it could be 7%, but 7% is better than paying 100% interest with a rent payment. So realtists, it's important that we are knowledgeable about the issues that our people are experiencing out here in the wilderness, out here in our markets, because if not us, then who? We are the ones on the ground in this industry who are the most qualified to advocate on behalf of our community. And so educate yourselves. Go read the Sheba report. The Sheba report, NAREB.com. Get familiar with the policy recommendations. Build relationships with your elected officials. Advocate on behalf of your community, because these politicians don't have all the answers. They need help. And it doesn't matter what party line. It's not about party line. Okay? It's about policy. And you can claim Democrat, you can claim Republican, you can claim independent. At the end of the day, we are realtists, and as realtists, our politics involve the policies that are going to open the doors for black people to increase home ownership, and that's a bipartisan cause. So empower yourselves with knowledge, understand the issues, and then understand the solutions, the proposed solutions, so you can have knowledgeable conversations with not just elected officials, but also with decision makers at our partners, including the banks that we deal with, because our clients aren't purchasing any property without going through the bank first. So it's important that our partners are on the same page as well. And that's what a leader does, y'all. And we are, as realtists, we are leaders. So I just wanted to drop that on y'all today because it's MLK Day, and MLK was all about opening the door for political advocacy, advocating on behalf of our community to open the door for more people. And so with that being said, realtors, y'all got the juice. Y'all got the juice. Y'all the ones in y'all communities that's doing it, and ain't nobody doing it like y'all. Okay, so I stand on that, and I look forward to seeing you all at the Midwinter. The Midwinter convention is coming up, San Diego. Let me see here. San Diego. Not that one. San Diego. Here we go. Boom. If you haven't gotten your ticket, you better do it now before you got like a couple of weeks, and then registration is going to be cut off until the day of, and when the day of, it's going to be expensive. So you got a couple more weeks to go get that registration in. Save yourself some money. It's going to be a blast. I'm looking forward to it. YRD, we will be jumping off our Tomorrow Leaders Today program. I'm excited about that. We'll also be giving out information about the Young Entrepreneurship Program, and we'll also be bringing on a handful of new chapters, YRD chapters. So it's going to be a time, y'all, and y'all want to be there. And you know us young realtors, we're gonna have some fun too. So it's gonna be a time, y'all. So with that being said, I'm gonna get up out here for the night. I hope this brought you value, and I will be back next Monday. Have a good night.